Keep in mind, his job was to keep the city clean, right? Sweep the poop and the needles and the tents. That was his job. He didn't do it. He was taking bribes and then got indicted by the feds. The mayor of San Francisco dated him, and now she's telling us that she is going to stop the crime in San Francisco. What is up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. This, of course, is the epicenter for all of your current and captivating coastal elite chaos. So please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a comment or two, share this with a friend. Let's go. So, fresh off this weirdo APEC commie conference, which I do have content from, please bear with me, loads of content from APEC, Bay Area pro-lifers, everyday San Franciscans, Texans, and of course, New Yorkers coming really soon. But anyways, here we have San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and forgive me, I do have to say this every single time I mention her name, but let's never forget that this woman paid nearly $23,000 in ethics violations fines. So if that's what she admits to, imagine what she hasn't admitted to, or what she will not admit to. She also dated the former San Francisco Department of Public Works head, who of course was indicted by the feds. I mean, this woman is just an awful floozy, but let's set that to the side for now. Here she is speaking at some post-commie conference presser, and just imagine how terrible things have to be, how bad your reputation must have gotten to go out there and say, yeah, I mean, we're going to keep you safe, I promise this time. Most of the stuff that you heard about San Francisco is true, but, you know, we're working on it. And as bad as the reputation is, as bad as San Francisco's reputation is, I should say, I'd argue it's actually even worse. But she says, yeah, well, retail theft is down. Okay, London, of course retail theft is down because there are far less retailers. Car break-ins are down. Well, you know what? The bar is really, really low. I mean, the car break-ins made worldwide news. Everybody knew about this. Word was out. Foreign tourists, news crews, old people, everything was on the table. It was bipping and boosting. They made songs about it. They had poop patrol, needles, people's cars actually getting broken into while they were sitting in the car, sitting in traffic. Absolute insanity. But lucky for you, this woman who has admitted to being corrupt and dated a man who worked for the Department of Public Works. Keep in mind, his job was to keep the city clean, right? Sweep the poop and the needles and the tents. That was his job. He didn't do it. He was taking bribes and then got indicted by the feds. The mayor of San Francisco dated him, and now she's telling us that she is going to stop the crime in San Francisco. So, if you believe that, I've also got a beautiful piece of oceanfront property to sell you in Kansas. So, just, you know, go ahead and leave your social security number in the comments. But that aside, listen to this woman along with the San Francisco Chief of Police and the DA.
People will be safe. We have more police officers, both uniform officers as well as plainclothes police officers that will be all around this area. And just to give you some perspective, because despite the challenges that exist with limitations around our laws, our officers are still making arrests. We're seeing a decline in retail theft. We're seeing a decline in car break-ins, and we are working very hard to ensure that we're doing everything we can to prevent these things from happening in the first place.
You know, we have deployment with the retail theft operations that happen in this area, the organized retail theft. like the Dior, the ramming of the Dior store a couple of weeks ago. We were right there, and unfortunately, we couldn't prevent it, but we captured the people that did it, and they were prosecuted. You know, that is what is going to take.
We have now turned the corner on the culture here in San Francisco with respect to retail theft. And as the district attorney, I have made it clear that we will prosecute those who commit theft in our city. No longer can we view retail theft as a low-level crime. No longer can we view retail theft as less serious.
Okay, this is absolutely despicable. The corruption is just oozing out of this woman. And I don't know too much about the chief of police or the DA, but I mean, let's be realistic. Any and all entities remotely close to San Francisco are prime for corruption. It's laughable. I mean, it's not even realistic. The news alone is the Bay Area news alone is so far off the beaten path. I mean, it's none of it's even realistic. But that's not what this is about. So, Mayor London Breed says that, oh, there's going to be police all around the area. And you always know that when they say, let me be clear, they're about to spew some word salad. So she says there's going to be police all around the area. I mean, that's interesting. Did you not vilify and demoralize and lambast cops as evil racists several years ago? Because I think you did. I think you did just that along with everybody else. And then the chief of police says, oh yeah, well, you remember that terrible smash and grab at a luxury boutique a couple weeks ago? Well, we found those guys and, we're going to prosecute them. So who really got the last laugh? Dude, I mean, you do your job one time and now you want a cookie? Give me a break. But, I guess I'll cut this guy a little bit of slack because I have talked to several San Francisco Police Department officers, and I get it. They can't go on the record. But for the most part, they seem to see right through the political corruption. And, I can't blame them. They need that pension, so that's fair enough. But this guy, at this presser with London Breed, it's just so slimy. These are lizard people in the flesh. This is lizard lingo, as I like to say. And I also talked to, sidebar, I did talk to one San Francisco Police Department officer, and she told me one thing that was particularly dark, saying that, we're all used to seeing street-level crime, vandalism, theft, drug use, all of that. But she says, and I can't fact check this or confirm it myself, but she says San Francisco is among the top 3 cities for human trafficking. So while we're all worried about smash and grabs and vandalism and petty theft and grand larceny, I suppose, while we're worried about all that street level stuff, there's a much darker iceberg of crime happening in San Francisco. But that, of course, is a different story for a different time. And then you have the DA here who says, well, we've changed the culture. We were letting everybody steal what wasn't nailed down. In fact, these people were destroying entire buildings and stealing things that were nailed down, but that ends now. We're going to prosecute them. Okay, lady, we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. But all that said, I'd like to take a quick look at the short list of some of the retailers that have fled or are planning to flee San Francisco. And let's remember, this by no stretch of the imagination is a complete list. You can walk around San Francisco right now and see independent retailers, small mom and pop shops, restaurants and stuff that have just fled. It wasn't worth it. Menus on the window, trash cans in the building. They're just like, nope, we're not staying here. We got to go. Now, we're all used to seeing major retailers who make announcements and make news headlines and, we're going to close at the end of the month or we're going to close at the end of the year, which there is plenty of that. But this is the amended version. I would assume there's probably thousands of businesses that have left San Francisco in the past 3 years. But these are household names, not the deep cut, behind the curtain tech firms, not these small mom and pop shops. These are big name retailers that have just had enough. Anthropology, Amazon Go, Arc'teryx, The Real, CB2, Banana Republic, The Container Store, Crate and Barrel, Abercrombie and Fitch, DSW, Disney, Uniqlo, Marshalls, H&M, Gap, Meta, Twitter, Snap, PayPal, Airbnb, Slack, Salesforce, Block, Autodesk, and Chime. And of course, you have the huge story of the entire downtown shopping center announcing that it's closing its doors after several decades, after their anchor retailer Nordstrom announced it was throwing in the towel. You also have the nationwide story of Walgreens closing 17 locations, leaving a handful of them, I suppose, giant hotels, the Hilton and Park 55, all leaving, or both leaving, I should say. I'm sure there's other hotels, but these are the main ones. They're leaving because tourism isn't really a viable business in the dystopian end of civilization city that San Francisco has become.